Okay, so at this point I'm going to go ahead and open up the website using Visual Studio. You can use Notepad if you like. I just prefer to use Visual Studio. Keeps things packaged nicely. So the first thing we're going to do is jump into that template file that we looked at in the first video and just start messing around with a few of the elements and working with the tokens. While that's loading, actually, I'll go ahead and jump over to the manual. And here, if you search for the word token, and I just narrowed by skinning here. And if you go into skin tokens and look at the ML8 instructions, there's some handy documentation here. This document kind of covers all the different tokens that are available. So if you're wondering what options are there, you won't find them all in the default template, so this is a good reference. Okay, so back to Visual Studio. I'm going to open up the skins folder, and remember now we're working with skin 2, and I'm just going to open up the template file. Alright, so the first thing we've got here, I think I'm going to add a logo to the website, and you can see now that it's really just a simple A tag, and it says yourcompany.com inside of it, and the image itself that makes up the logo, let me show you that, is actually a background image. So what I'm going to do is actually add an image. I'm going to replace this image with an actual image tag rather than a background image. So let's start simple here. Let's just take this text and this bold tag out. Make sure we're in the right place. And there you go, you can see the word hello. It looks like it's aligned to the right, so that's probably coming out of the style sheet. And then if I right click on this, oh, I guess I'll have to use Firebug. You can see the background images. It's contained in the skin images folder, and it's called logo.gif. So let's go and find that. In Visual Studio it'll be in skin 2, in images, and scroll down to logo.gif right there. So I'm going to just copy that. And we're going to be in the skins folder. And then we're going to be in skin 2 if you wanted to hard code it. I'm going to show you how to use a token to get the appropriate skin in just a minute, but we'll hard code it for now. And then images and logo.gif. That's what we want. And then for the alt text we'll use yourcompany.com and close that tag off. I'll just take out that title text. And let's see how we did here. Okay, perfect. So now I've replaced that text with the image from the skin folder, and it'll actually have a background image on it as well that's the same, but I'll talk about that in the style sheet. So I was mentioning before that we could be a little smarter about this skin ID. There's actually a token for this. So if you replace that with the skin ID token, like so, those tokens are case insensitive, so you can be all uppercase or all lowercase. And this text from the open parenthesis exclamation point to the exclamation point close parenthesis will render out the actual skin ID that we're on right now. So that means it'll go into the appropriate skin folder, whether you're on skin 2, skin 1, skin 3, and then grab the logo GIF out of the images folder in that skin. So I'm just going to save that, and let's make sure nothing's changed. Perfect. Okay, so that's kind of the basics of tokens. That's why they're handy. They can render out dynamic content. Okay, so another token that's pretty handy is the topic token. I use this one quite a bit. You can see an example in the default template. If you scroll down to where the left nav begins, you can find that it's called left wrap. And there's one of these boxes on the left hand side, and I'll point that out down at the bottom of this navigation, is this help and info box. And this box here is actually rendered out via a topic. So right here is our topic token. So if you're unfamiliar with topics, if you're new to the concept, you can get at your topics in the back end of the website under content, manage topics. Oh, gotta log back in here. There we go. Content, manage topics, and we can find that help under help box. So if you edit this topic, you'll see that the text in here is the same stuff being rendered out right out here. So to reference a topic, you just need to know the topic's name from this field here. Topic names should not contain spaces or any special characters. It's got to be URL friendly because some topics are used like this help box is to render out just a little block of text, and some topics actually render out their entire page. So a nice URL friendly name, and you can see that help box is also what's being put right into this topic token here. So that's how it knows which topic to grab. So we could kind of duplicate that. I'll just copy this whole line here. And actually, might as well put a header on it while I'm at it. So I'll copy these two lines. And let's just call this one more info. And we'll make a topic called more info as well. So I'm going to copy that text and go back to the topic editing screen, and you'll just hit add new. And we can give it a friendly title here, more info. And a little text, and let's just add that topic to the database. So, saved our topic, saved our file, and let's go see what we've got here in the left-hand nav. Refresh that, and now you can see we've got our header that says more info, and it's actually rendering out our topic out of the admin console that we entered. So that's a handy one. I like that. If you just have a really simple navigation and just maybe a few products and you don't need a dynamic fancy left nav, you can replace your left nav or your top nav for that matter with a simple topic and just hard code links. That's pretty handy. So that's the topic token. Another thing we could do here is take a look at the string resources. There's some examples here. This is a string resource token. String resources are a little bit like topics, but they're just for very short strings, just simple strings used throughout your site. So right here in the header, I'm going to replace more info with a custom string resource. So, and kind of the advantage of doing that is that you can change this from the back end of the website. So an administrator, if they decide they want to change the text in our header, they can do that without having to jump into the code like this and make the change. So let's give it a custom name. We'll call it more info header, and I'll copy that, and I'm going to save the file. And then back to the admin console, underneath content string resource manager, we're going to add a new string. And we'll give it the name, more info header. And just so it's different, I'll write more information. We'll save that. And it's always a good idea to reset the cache just to make sure that string exists. Okay, so now we've got our string resource tag, and when I refresh the page, our header text should be using our new string resource, and there it is, more information. So now you can modify that text easily from the admin console. Okay, so another nice token, if you know what you're doing with XML packages, is the XML package token. And there's good examples of those being used to render out the left-hand navigation. So this token is actually rendering out the department's navigation. And we can see that here at the bottom here of the left nav. And that's just pulling in the XML package found in the XML packages folder in Skin2 called rev.departments. So if you're writing your own custom XML packages and you want to reference them from the template, you can use this XML package token to do that. So that's really the basics to the beginnings of skinning ASP.NET Storefront and working with the tokens. And again, there's quite a few other tokens I didn't go into, but they're all referenced in the manual, and you'll find quite a few good examples throughout the default template.